Good day, si Sir Mark ito. Talakayin natin ngayon ang doing philosophy. When we hear the word philosophy, ano ang unang pumapasok sa ating isipan? Sa Filipino context, ang salitang pilosopo ay mayroong kakaibang konotasyon. Ito ay naugnay sa pagiging sobrang argumentatibo o sadyang mahirap kausap, nambabara, warfrake, palaaway o nakikipagtalo. Tingnan natin ang sitwasyon na ito. May isang estudyante ang sumakay sa jeep. Sumiksik siya sa napakasikip na espasyo ng upuan sa jeep. Sabihin, no, 14 pa, 14, 14 pa, kahit 10 lang yung kasya sa jeep, no? So may isang matandang babae ang nagsalita. Nini, sumiksik ka pa, masikip na nga. Ang sabi ng estudyante, Lola, saan po ako dapat sumiksik? Hindi po ba sa sikip nga at hindi sa maluwang? Mukhang nakakatawa man, pero ang kanyang tugon ay valid point. By the end of this discussion, the learner will be able to differentiate universal and particular point of views, identify human actions that come from thinking on purpose, appreciate how doing philosophy can help understand life better, and lastly, engage in a philosophical reflection from a holistic point of view. Ang best hope natin sa talakayin na ito is to understand the meaning and process of doing philosophy, maging bahagi ng ating sistema, and reflect on a concrete experience in a philosophical way. Ang filosofiya ay madalas na itinuturing na mother of all disciplines. Name it, sciences, mathematics, law, arts, psychology, history, business, medicine, politics, sociology, and beyond. It is the oldest intellectual pursuit as it dates back to Greece, India, China, and other parts of the world. Ayon nga kay Bertrand Russell, science is what you know, philosophy is what you do not know. Science is what you know statement ay tumutukoy sa sistematikong kaalaman na binuo ng iba't ibang pagsisiyasat, empirical evidences, systematic observations, experimentations, and rigorous analysis. Ibig sabihin, nasumpungan na yung mga katanungan. However, sa philosophy, philosophy is what you do not know. Tumutukoy ito sa mga maaaring katanungan at konsepto na hindi pa nasasagot hanggang sa kasalukuyan. Hanggang ngayon, pinag-uusapan pa rin. No? Philosophy is concerned with matters that often do not have clear empirical answers. Ibig sabihin, may mga bagay talaga na limitadong siyensya ang ating pag-unawa na tanging philosophy lang ang may kakayang pag-usapan ito. Ilan sa mga usapin nito ay nature of reality, kahulugan ng buhay, limits ng ating kaalaman o human knowledge or karunungan, ethical dilemmas, and even foundations of existence, yung pag-iral natin sa mundong ito, yung pag-iral ng mga bagay-bagay sa paligid natin. Doing philosophy is important in our day-to-day life. It helps us think deeply, understand different perspectives, and make better choices. Philosophy encourages critical thinking, lalo na ngayon, naglipa na ang fake news, disinformation at misinformation. It helps us make informed decision, solve problems, and communicate effectively. It prompts us to reflect on our beliefs and understanding. Minsan yung ating paniniwalaan, pinaniwalaan natin kasi sabi ng iba or minana natin. Minsan, kailangan natin i-challenge ito, no, kung saan ito nagmumula. Unawain pa natin sa mas malalim na pamamaraan and even learning to what we stand for. Consider natin itong isang senaryo, no? May isang baso ng tubig. When presented with this situation, different individuals are likely to provide varying responses. Para sa mga optimist, makikita nila ito bilang half full si may tubig, no? Para naman sa mga pessimist, ito naman ay half empty. Para sa STEM students, ito ay pinaghalong H2O molecules, possibly representing the analytical perspective. Para sa ABM students, nakikita nila ang praktikal na halaga ng isang baso ng tubig. Halimbawa, yung tubig na to ay 5 piso ang halaga, possibly representing the economic perspective. Para sa students, ang tubig na ito ay sumisimbolo sa basic human needs and its importance in sustaining life, no? At maaaring maging potential na dahilan ng pagkabaha or pagbaha, no? Sa isang lugar. Sa philosophers, iba ang kanilang pagtingin sa bagay na ito. Philosophers take a more introspective and abstract approach. Maaari nilang tanungin yung very nature ng glass, yung pag-iral nito, yung purpose nito or kahalagahan nito, the meaning behind why it occupies time and space, no? Maaari nilang siya sa atin pag-usapan ng concept ng identity ng baso na to at paano natin masasabi na yung nasa baso ay tubig nga, no? Allow me to present another straightforward example. How do we define a chair? What makes a chair as a chair? I'll give you 10 seconds to answer the question. Time's up. Ang upuan, by definition, ay yari sa kahoy na kulay brown, may 4 na paa, may seat, at backrest. Paano kaya kung merong mag-appear sa atin na isang bagay na kulay gray, 4 din ng paa, may upuan at may backrest? Iko-consider ba natin ito na upuan? Siyempre, our answer will be yes. But however, gaya ng dinefine natin kanina na kulay brown, 4 ang paa, may upuan at backrest, dito pumapasok ang philosophy. Despite the differing features such as color and design, it would still be considered a chair since we have a clear concept of what constitutes a chair. Merong nag-a-appear sa isip natin na kahit mabago yung anyo, yung forma, yung kulay, yung disenyo, nare-recognize natin yung bagay na yon na chair pa rin. Isa siya sa activity ng philosophy. Let us take another scenario. What makes a cat as a cat? Take 10 seconds to answer the question. Sure. Ang typical na cat ay may 4 na paa, whiskers, kulay ginger, may buntot, at pointed yung tenga. Okay, pero paano kung merong hayop na nag-appear sa atin na kulay itim? Meron ding pointed ears, may buntot din, may balahibo, kaya lang kulay itim. Pusa pa rin ba siya? Sasabihin natin, no? Opo sir, kulay itim siya pero pusa pa rin siya. Pero yun nga in-identify natin kanina na ginger in color ang pusa, pero bakit na-qualify yung kulay itim na hayop na to bilang pusa? At paano kaya kung yung hayop na yun ay walang balahibo? Ika-classify pa rin ba natin siya na pusa? Yes sir. Pero bakit kanina sabi natin no, may balahibo yung pusa para ma-classify natin or masabi natin na siya ay pusa, no? And paano kaya kung walang buntot yung hayop na yun? Masasabi ba natin na siya ay pusa? Here lies a matter that resides in our consciousness, a recognition that an entity remains a cat despite alterations to its characteristics. Merong forma na nagiging sukatan natin, na ika-classify natin na itong mga nakikita natin, bagamat magkakaiba sa sensation natin, ay nananatili siyang pusa. This phenomenon encapsulate one facet of the realm of philosophy. Pythagoras, credited with coining the term philosophy, identified himself as a philosopher. So meaning to say, yung mga thinkers nung nauna kay Pythagoras, hindi nila tinatawag ang kanilang sarili bilang philosophers. It is Pythagoras who formalized this activity as philosophy. Tulad ni Pythagoras, ang mga nag-aaral ng philosophy or nag-engage sa philosophy, gaya ng mga attendees sa ancient Olympic Games. Lovers of gain, lovers of honor, lovers of wisdom, no? May mga nag-aaral ng filosofiya na motivated by material gain, no? May mga nag-aaral naman ng filosofiya to pursuit of honor, no? Meron din naman nag-aaral ng filosofiya dahil thirst of knowledge, no? Sa lovers of gain, it refers to individuals who are interested in philosophy for practical or material benefits. Ito yung maaring may career seeking na sa law, no? Business, technology, ginagamit nila or tingin nila ang filosofiya ang stepping stone to achieve personal or professional goals, no? Sa lovers of honor naman, ito yung mga individual na pinupursu nila yung philosophy to gain recognition, prestige, or social status. Maaring may mga estudyante din or scholars na nag-excel sa philosophy to earn academic scholarships and reputation. No? Meron ding individual seeking to project an image of intelligence in public settings. Sa lovers of wisdom naman, ito yung mga individual na nag-engage sa philosophy for the intrinsic value of knowledge, no? Understanding and the pursuit of truth. Uhaw sila sa kaalaman, no? They love to engage with Socratic dialogue, magtanong, magsiyasat. They want to understand moral and ethical principles. They want to engage in reflecting or contemplating the nature of their existence, their meaning of life, no? Their human experiences. They want to explore the nature of reality and consciousness. Philosophy is not about how many things you know as if you are a walking knowledge Google or Wikipedia. Instead, it is about the moment you think. Kaya ang symbol ng philosopher ay nag-iisip, no? Ang mahalaga sa filosofiya ay yung kakayahan mong mag-isip at magtanong. It is the question that lead to wisdom. Si Newton, kung hindi niya tinanong bakit nahulog yung mansanas sa ilog, hindi ma-introduce sa atin ang gravity. And before Newton, marami ng tao ang nakakapansin na nahuhulog ang mansanas, ang iba't ibang bagay, no, ang mga bunga sa mga puno. It is Newton na nag-initiate na magtanong. And dahil sa tanong niyang yon, may na-introduce na knowledge. No? Ang mahalaga sa filosofiya ay may kakayahan tayong mag-isip at magtanong. Halimbawa nito, anong kulay ang nakikita natin sa slide na ito? Nasa gitna. Kulay black. Black ba siya in itself? Or black siya kasi sinasabi natin na black siya? Maganda ba si Athena in herself? Or maganda siya kasi tayo ang nagsasabi na maganda siya? Then what is philosophy? When it comes to etymological definition, the word philosophy originates from the Greek term philosophia, where philos signifies lover or friend, and sophia denotes wisdom. May mga philosophers na nagsasabi na ang wisdom ay attribute lamang ng divine, no? Valuable philosophers have held that the belief that wisdom is a divine attribute exclusively belonging to God. So we recognize that what our minds can comprehend is limited to knowledge. So ang nagmamay-ari lamang ng wisdom ay Diyos. Yung nalalaman natin, kahit pagsamasamahin natin yung nalalaman ng sangkatauhan, nananatili siyang knowledge. Kaya tayo nagkakaroon ng knowledge kasi tayo ay humihingi o nakikipag-share sa wisdom ng Diyos. Sabi nga ni Pythagoras, it is really impossible for human being to know everything because this possibility is only available to God. Pythagoras expressed the idea that complete and comprehensive knowledge, at ito na yung tinatawag nating wisdom, is beyond the reach of human beings and is a capability reserved solely for a divine entity na tinatawag na nga natin na God. No? At yung konsepto na may humbling recognition tayo na may limitasyon talaga yung human understanding natin, yung knowledge natin, no? So para sa iba, etong mga individual na hindi kumikilala sa Diyos, no, bilang ultimate source ng knowledge or tinatawag nating wisdom, hindi sila tinatawag na technical na philosophers. Sila existentialists or atheist thinkers. Isa sa technical definitions ng philosophy ay scientia rerum per causas primas sublumine rationis naturalis, the systematic study of beings in their ultimate causes, principles, reasons, and acquired by the aid of human reason alone. So inaaral natin ang causes, pinagmulan, principles, ang dahilan ng lahat ng mga bagay na nasa ating paligid. Can be sensed man or hindi man natin nasa-sense gamit ang ating human reason alone. Human reason lang. No? By relying solely on human reason, natatanggal yung subjectivity, yung emotion. No? This approach to studying reality seeks to unveil insights encompassing rational investigation into the nature of reality, nature of existence, origin of the universe, principle of logic, ethics, and the underlying structure of the world. Kaya nga ng sabi ni Francis Bacon, a prudent question is one half of wisdom. You cannot solve the problem if you do not know the problem. So once you ask, you are almost half. Kasi nga, pag hindi ka nagtatanong, hindi mo malalaman at hindi mo matutukoy kung ano yung dapat mong gawin at dapat mong iresolba. Mahalaga na matukoy natin kung ano yung tanong, kung ano yung problema, at pag natukoy natin to, masusubukan natin na masolusyonan, no? Mahanapan ng kasagutan. The study of philosophy is unlike the study of other courses. The only prerequisite is an inquiring mind. Magtanong, no? Walang masamang magtanong. Minsan, ang mahalaga pa nga ay yung pagtatanong. Kasi pag tayo nagtatanong, meron tayong na-introduce na new knowledge, na challenge natin yung existing knowledge na binigay na sa atin sa mahabang panahon. One does not simply study philosophy, one does it. Ginagawa, pinapractice natin. As wisdom means the application of knowledge. Philosophy is not merely something to be passively learned, no, through study, but rather it requires active engagement and practical application. Gaya ng fallacies sa aralin natin, no? Minsan nagiging normal na or typical ng parte ng sistema natin sa pag-uusap, na papanood natin or naririnig natin sa radyo, TV, no? Pero yung sinasabi pala dun sa particular na balita na yon or speech na yon ay fallacy, no? May kausap tayo, hindi tayo sure kung fake news ba yon or totoo, pwede natin siyang matukoy by questioning. No? So usually, questions are more important than answer. Gaya ng sabi ko kanina, questions are more important than answer. By simple asking questions, it propels you significantly closer to a solution and can generate and unearth new knowledge. Pwede mong i-challenge pa yung existing knowledge, no? Let us take a philosophical scenario. Yung statement na, who discovered the Philippines? Does this imply na nung wala pa si Magellan, wala ang Pilipinas sa mapa? Take 10 seconds to answer the question or even question the question. Time's up. Siyempre, mga Filipino, hindi papayag na dahil wala si Magellan noon, wala ang Pilipinas, no, sa mundo, no? A more refined interrogative statement might be, who named this archipelago as the Philippines? Kasi bago pa dumating si Magellan, nandiyan na yung Pilipinas, no? Hindi na siya kailangang i-discover kasi nandiyan na. Maaari pang sabihin natin, who named this archipelago as the Philippines? Let us take a philosophical scenario. Which comes first? Chicken or egg? So madalas natin siyang nakikita, no, as meme or naririnig or tinatanong sa atin. Take 10 seconds to answer the question or even question the question. Time's up. In this context, we can question the question. What does the question pertain to? Biologically ba or biblical? From a biological perspective, the principle of the timeline dictates that the egg comes first. However, in a biblical context, the mention of a chicken as an egg is not mentioned. Let us take a philosophical scenario. How about the statements like sunset, sunrise, no? Na narinig natin to or napapanood natin sa balita na sinasabi na ganitong oras umakyat ang haring araw, ganitong oras lulubog ang araw. Natanong na kaya natin sa sarili natin na lumulubog ba talaga at umaakyat ba talaga ang haring araw? Here's a humorous dilemma. Shake well before using. Should you shake yourself or the object you are holding? Tear here. Should you tear open the Tetra Pak or cry? No erasure. Ito yung common na rule ng ating mga professors or teachers, no? If erasing is not option, proceed to alter. Pero tiyakin mo na ma-follow mo yung instruction ng teacher mo. Kasi kung letter lang, so invalid din yung gagawin mo. Alternatively, if no erasure, singular, walang S, no? Isa lang dapat yung wala kang erasure, is the statement, then consider making multiple erasures to avoid following that instruction. Kasi plural na, marami ka ng erasures. No erasure, isa lang yung bawal na may buraka, no? So pag dumami na, erasures na yon. Eh kung ang rule ay no erasure, so contradicting siya dun sa gagawin mo na more than one erasures. Student is not allowed. If that is the case, magsama ka na isa mong kaklase to form the word students. Kasi ang rule lang, student, singular lang. This will invalidate the singular requirement and grant you access to the room. What color do you perceive on the slide? It appears to be green, right? But it is green in itself or green siya dahil sinasabi natin na kulay green ito. If you observe, sa philosophy, being inquisitive or mapagtanong or mapagsiyasat is a common practice. Ang ating mga pinsan or nakakabatang kapatid, mahilig silang magtanong sa atin ng bakit. Sasagutin natin, no? And then, may susundan silang tanong na bakit? 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 At minsan, kinakat natin sila. That's enough questions. Tama na, ang dami mong tanong. In reality, this is a basic philosophical engagement. They are driven by a thirst for knowledge. Curious sila. Gusto nilang masumpungan yung kanilang katanungan. Makahanap sila ng sagot sa atin. Let us take an example. Why are you studying? Ba't ka nag-aaral? Para makatapos. Bakit kailangan makatapos? Para makapaghanap ng trabaho. Ba't kailangan makapagtrabaho? Para may makain. Bakit kailangan may makain? Para makasurvive. Bakit kailangan makasurvive? Tama na. Ang dami mong tanong. So there is infinite regress of justification. We are unable to answer their questions any longer because we do not know what and how to answer. Dito na pumapasok yung sinasabi ni Plato. There's only one thing I know. I know that I know nothing. Plato acknowledged that our understanding of things under the sun often relies on pre-existing definition found in textbook or those put forth by others. Kalimitan kasi pag tinanong tayo ng mga bata or nakakilala natin, dinedefine natin yung tanong nila ayon sa textbook, natutunan natin, nabasa natin, o kaya ay sinabi ng iba. Pero yung definition ng katanungan nila o kasagutan natin sa tanong nila na manggagaling sa atin, bibihira natin yun na magawa. We depend on external sources. as our ability to independently define concepts can be limited. Let's take an example. Nagtanong sa atin, how do we define atom? We draw upon definitions given by figures ni Democritus and even sources like Wikipedia or Google. However, our capacity to craft solely yung definition natin sa sarili natin na kung ano yung meaning ng atom ay limitado. Matcha-challenge tayo. This is a concept in philosophy that reflects humility, intellectual curiosity, and the recognition of the limits of human understanding. In philosophy, our exploration will encompass but is not confined to discussing, investigating, and attempting to capture the following: soul, freedom, responsibility, existence of God, existence of evil, logic, fallacies, being, death, things that can be sensed, things that cannot be sensed, reason, morality, wisdom, environment, society, transcendence, intersubjectivity, critical thinking, skepticism, opinion, truth. Let us take an example of doing philosophy. Susubukan natin ngayong i-philosophize yung core subject itself, the philosophy of the human person. Bakit nga ba ang philosophy of man is not the same with the philosophy of the human person? Take 10 seconds to answer the question. Term man predominantly pertains to males. Isa siyang core subject at hindi lang ito subject para sa mga lalaki. Kasama natin ang mga babae. So this can be unfair from a feminist perspective. Kaya better to use yung generic term ay human person. Moreover, in this course, we will talk about not how to be a man, but how to be a human person. Another analysis, bakit ang philosophy of a human person ay hindi katulad ng philosophy of the human person? Take 10 seconds to answer the question. Time's up. Ang philosophy of a human person suggests a more specific discussion of philosophy of a particular person. Sa core subject na to, hindi lang isang philosopher ang tatalakayin natin. Marami, kaya the general, standard, or principal perspective of philosophers. No? It indicates a more generalized universal approach wherein the focus is on a broader concept of the human person. My philosophical anthropology is the same with the philosophy of the human person. Take 10 seconds to answer the question. Time's up. Philosophical means thoughtful and reflective approach of concepts, ideas, and questions. Anthropology, however, is derived from anthropos, meaning human being, human person, and logos, signifying study or discourse. If we engage in philosophy, sulat tayo ng philosophical reflection, seek a broader perspective, i-analyze natin yung statement ng kausap natin, kung siya ay fake news, kung knowledge, or chismis, it's essential to invest effort in comprehending and presenting a holistic viewpoint from different angles. We can liken this process to ascending a lighthouse, enabling us to observe different perspectives before articulating our thoughts. umakyat tayo sa lighthouse, nakikita natin yung iba't ibang perspectives, no? Nakikita natin yung iba't ibang areas bago tayo magsalita, bago tayo mga tuwiran, bago tayo mag-isip, tinignan muna natin yung iba't ibang perspektibo, no? If I were to ask you, how would you go about writing a philosophical reflection on a specific situation from a holistic perspective? Feel free to devise your own methods.